All right, back here with our weekend review with our distinguished panel, Preston Lude and Charlie Herkus, special guest.
Wow, you're really putting me way up there, huh?
Well, yeah, man. Of course I'm going to put us up there. I'm not going to say, we're mediocre.
Well, why didn't you put yourself in there then? You said distinguished panel, and then you just said me and then Charlie.
And Matt Beamer.
Okay, there you
Okay,
go.
is that better?
That's better.
But, okay, so we had the final weekend in 2020 as far as NASCAR goes, and to me, I'm just going to say this. The overall weekend was okay.
All right, yeah.
I didn't watch the Xfinity race.
The Xfinity race was exciting at the end.
Yeah.
Of course, there was that caution that came out there with Chase Briscoe spinning. But overall, man, it just wasn't. Phoenix is a bust for me as far as the final race of the season goes.
I can agree with that. I mean, the Truck Series race was...
Even then, the Truck Series race was
entertaining, I guess, but only at the end of it as well.
Yeah, but I see in the same way with the Xfinity and the Cup race, Chase Elliott just dominated.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cup race is a whole different ball game. Not exactly thrilled with the top four running the top four
the whole day,
the whole race.
Well, it's crazy how Chase had to start at the back though. He failed inspection twice, but still,
it makes you wonder about a lot of different things though. Whenever you have your top four championship people, really, they're actually the top four fastest the last race of the season too. Come on now.
And Harvick wasn't even a factor. I thought Harvick would do better than he did throughout the course of the race.
Right.
But, I mean, he did.
I mean, Bubba Wallace finished right where I thought he'd finish, but...
Well, I mean, Bubba Wallace always finishes. And like I said, we're going to have to wait till next season to see how he does. And
I don't think... I may be dead wrong, but I don't think he'll perform much.
You don't think so? Even
he will perform what he's performing now, maybe a little better, only because Gibbs performs better in general.
Right.
But talent-wise, I don't see it getting any better for him.
Well,
I see it getting better because of equipment, maybe.
Yeah, I can see
that
too.
But everybody's going to be like, well, no, now he actually gets to stress his show his talent.
No, I had a chance to show his talent.
I think Eric Jones outperforms Bubba Wallace in the 43 car next year all season long.
Ooh, bold words there, man.
Bold move, Cotton.
That is a bold prediction there, man. But I think he's going to do better this year. Will he win a race? I don't know. But I don't want Bubba Wallace to fail. I don't
think anybody wants him to fail. It's
I don't think anybody wants him to fail either. I just think there's way too much hype been put on this new team coming in, and I'm all for new teams.
I mean, it's Michael Jordan too.
Absolutely.
That's a huge name coming into NASCAR right there.
Huge name, but the name ain't going to make the team go fast.
It makes sense. Charlie
good
makes
point.
a good point. Man, Charlie needs to move up here and be a full-time member of the show. Because it'd be
I think they focus so much on who's coming in rather than how they're going to perform. So
I could see the point to that. I could see the point where what Charlie's making right there, and that Jordan's coming in, teamed up with Denny Hamlin, great combination, I think.
Yeah.
And Joe Gibbs' equipment. Can Bubba Wallace? We said it before, sink or swim.
And on the other side with Eric Jones, I think Richard Petty Motorsports, not even Richard Petty himself, but that team, the shop guys, the pit guys, everybody, I think they're at a sigh of relief now, and they're going to come in fresh and ready to race next year. I'm not saying they're going to be a top 5 contending team by no means, because it goes back to the whole equipment side of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think they perform at a higher level than what they've done the past few years.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. I could see a little wind in the sails from Petty Motorsports here going into 2021. Maybe, I mean, like Charlie said, I don't think they're a championship contender team. They haven't been for a long time.
No, they haven't.
But I could see them being, maybe a contingent, at least at super speedway races, a definitely contender there.
Yeah.
Because Eric Jones knows how to race Daytona and Talladega. So definitely, I mean, their last win came at Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like Jones. Not a big fan of Gibbs in general, but I mean, I like
Gibbs.
I like Jones. I think the talent's there, And I think the wind just is the same way as Richard Petty's going to get a little more wind in their sails. I think the wind was taken out of Eric Jones' sails because they made that announcement so soon in the season that, hey, you're going to be out of a ride.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Jones didn't try anything different just to get himself up there in contention to win a race.
I'd have moved Denny Hamlin out of the way, Martinsville race.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, there's a controversy whether we should have talked about last week.
Absolutely. Yeah. He'd have been moved.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what do you got to lose if
I
you're
think
Eric
he burned
Jones?
up his stuff trying to get by him because Denny Hamlin didn't make it easy.
Yeah.
But in the end, you got sponsors on your car that expect you to perform.
True.
Teammate or not teammate, you still got to perform.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's a good point.
That's a very good point. But, I mean, we go back to the truck race, or we can review here. It's an okay for me. I don't have it on the screen on YouTube. But
it's okay. I mean, I'm happy with how yesterday turned out.
Yeah, I'm sure that race is going to be outstanding for me. But the way we rate the races here, Charlie, is outstanding means I can rewatch the race over and over again and not get tired of it. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Which is, I can rewatch the race a time or two, but I've seen it. It was a good race, good finish.
So what are my levels to choose from here?
I'm giving you them. Outstanding, good, and then okay, which means the finish was pretty much good, great, but the overall race was okay. And then you have dud, which is
usually used for Formula One a lot.
Usually I use it for Formula One, but the race was very predictable, and I might have fallen asleep during the course of the race. And so you have outstanding, good, okay, and dud. And the truck race I rated an okay. In fact, all three of them I rated an okay, and I'll get more into that here in a second. But we'll go to Preston here. How would you rate?
I'm kind of in agreement. I think the whole weekend was okay. I mean, there was exciting times in certain races.
Yeah, when the caution flew, and then there was a green-white checker.
Yeah, everybody
honestly,
back up.
So what was going through my mind yesterday was during the Cup race, I was like, I would not put it past NASCAR.
Oh yeah,
for a caution to come out.
Oh no, I kept waiting on the caution.
I went right
There's
to the app.
There's a piece of rubber at the top of the track. Yeah. There's debris.
Yeah, I went right to the
caution comes out.
I went right to the app and turned the officials radio on, and I was like, I'm waiting for it.
No, I agree with you. I was waiting for it too.
Because I was thinking to myself, the other two races, that's how it went. Why not?
Why not the Cup race?
I'm sure this is what they would want too.
Oh yeah,
punch them back up again.
They want the excitement there, man.
There's not. I can guarantee. I can tell NASCAR straight to their face. There's not a lot of excitement at all.
Not with this current rule package. No,
not at all. I'll tell it straight to their face.
No, I would too. So. Maybe we can have Steve Phelps on here one day and throw him the hardball questions. I'm like, no. I
don't think he'd know how to answer them.
No.
Oh man, and I think Steve Phelps is doing a decent job, but Charlie doesn't. We need to just have Charlie on Zoom every episode so we can talk about what's going on here.
I just think the excitement side of it is just not what it used to be.
Well,
we can talk about it another day. I've said it before. We can get into it. I can tell you that there's no excitement for years now.
If you try to make excitement, it's not going to be generic
excitement. Listen, I have to say it. I don't think the commentary is exciting either. I think they're trying way too hard.
I like NBC.
They're trying. Yeah, the commentary is trying to make it sound.
Thank you.
Exciting.
Charlie knows
they are, but I like NBC Sports commentary better than Fox's. I used to like Fox a lot, but now I like NBC Sports.
I'm with agreement. I'm in agreement on that one.
Mainly because of oh my goodness, who's the main guy?
You got on NBC?
Yeah, on NBC.
Oh, Rick Allen?
Rick Allen. I like Rick Allen. He's no Alan Bestwick.
No.
Alan Bestwick was the best, hands down. And if anything, Superstar, that SRX?
Oh, Superstar Experience.
Superstar Racing Experience by Tony Stewart and Ray Abraham. Alan Bestwick needs to be on there, hands down. But I think Alan Bestwick was the best, but oh my gosh, his name again.
Rick Allen?
Rick Allen does a great job. I think maybe two drivers in there, Jeff Burton and Dale Jr. Keep Dale Jr. and kick Jeff Burton out.
I just think they try to get way too technical with it at the same time.
Well, Steve
it is just technical all day long.
That's commentary across all the sports, though. Even football, they try to say, well, this is why they did this. I don't care. Just
Well, I don't
call
mind
to
that.
play.
Well,
they're
and-
just like,
and
you know,
go on.
they just like what bugs me a lot is that I swear I hear a corner panel get used so many times in a broadcast these days, and that's what really annoys the crap out of me because they're like, oh, he's gonna get the right front into the left rear. Like, yeah, we can see that already.
Right.
You don't have to tell me that's what he's doing. Just say, hey, he's getting into the corner, and that's it. He's gonna bump him. But it's like they're gonna get the bumper to the rear bumper here, and like, dude, like I see it happening.
Right.
You don't have to tell me everything.
Well, I don't mind that. I mean, you got to fill up you don't want dead space on there.
I think it's dead space because they're talking too much half the time. They're trying to make it exciting.
Interesting.
I'm letting it all out now. I don't care.
Well, okay.
I listen to the radio broadcast a heck of a lot more than I will.
I
when
do
I'm
like the
watching
radio
TV.
broadcast, MRN and PRN,
Yeah.
better than sometimes the actual
Yeah,
races.
I would rather
I'd
a lot
rather
of
listen
times listen to MRN.
Well, that's what I do when I'm at the racetrack. I'll listen to MRN, listen to.
Heck, I'd rather listen to one driver in the entire race than listen to the broadcast team on TV. I mean, it's nothing against Dale Jr. or Jeff Burton or any of them. It's just, I don't know. It's just not there.
No, and I felt that throughout the course of the weekend that it wasn't organic excitement. It wasn't, I mean, all three drivers who won the championship in the Trucks Xfinity Cup deserved that championship.
Yeah, but
They definitely deserved to win the championship, but I'm with you guys. It didn't feel organic, like the excitement they were trying to build. And I don't like the Final Four format. I don't like the points format anymore.
Nope, I've said it for a while now. I don't like it. I mean, I'd be okay with them just going straight 10 driver playoff, and then that's it. You reset to everybody's equal.
Yeah.
The 10 drivers are equal for the last 10 races, and that's it.
And I talked to my uncle yesterday throughout the course of the race, and he said the excitement isn't there. If you finish ahead of the other, if all three of us were racing against each other for a championship,
I would win. But anyways, go on.
Maybe. I've seen you iRace. I'm just going to say that. But, it doesn't matter if all three of us take each other out or stuff. It just matters if Charlie finishes ahead of you and me or any combination of the, 3 or 6, 9 things that could come out of that.
Yeah.
And he mentioned Tony Stewart's last championship. I think it was 2014 against Carl Edwards. And it was a points championship where Tony Stewart had to finish ahead of Edwards. And even if Edwards was above him, he just needed to finish this position or higher, given if Edwards were to win that race.
Right.
Which is based on any format up until I think this started 4 years ago, where highest finishing wins. Where if Charlie were to win the race, where does Matt have to finish to win the championship, or Preston to win the championship?
Yeah.
And they would work out all, and I miss that.
I miss a lot of things about NASCAR like that. I miss the fact that I miss just in general the races, fuel mileage races, but because of stage racing, that's totally screwed everything out the window.
Yeah.
I thought that's a big technical thing that I miss.
Oh, yeah.
In NASCAR.
Absolutely.
Without stage racing, we have fuel mileage races, and that's how a lot of people used to win it like that.
Yep.
Yeah, but at the same time, races are already boring enough as they are right now.
Yeah.
I think the stage racing, I'm not a huge fan of it. But that kind of breaks up the whole race going green.
I think that's why NASCAR introduced that at first.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the reasons why.
Because, I mean, like you have a Talladega race which can run caution free. I've seen it a couple times throughout the course of Talladega's history. And you're right, it does break up the race and make it exciting as far as points being paid out throughout the course of that race. Man, I don't know if it's I'm not against stage racing, I'm against the playoff format as far as that.
I'm with you on that one. Like I don't think there needs to be both. There needs to be one or the other.
Yep, okay, I can agree with that.
And I would almost say get rid of the playoffs.
Well, then Harvick would be the 2020 champion.
Keep stage racing, but you don't get 10 points. It's not the top 10. It's top 5.
Ooh, interesting.
And instead of 10 bonus points, you get 5.
Okay.
And you keep the same point structure. First place gets 40 points.
Yeah, I like the points.
And then with the races that are only having, 36, 37 cars show up, First place gets however many cars showed up.
Okay. Yeah, I could agree with that. I could go with that.
So I think that would, the big 10-point gains just by winning a stage, is a little much. And I don't think you should get bonus points for winning stages either. Whenever you go into the playoff.
You mean like playoff points?
Yeah.
I don't. To this day I still can't explain to you what a playoff point is.
Yeah. Don't do playoffs. You do one or the other, preferably the stage racing, just for the fact the races are more green flag runs than anything now.
Yeah.
So stage racing does break that up, but the point structure could be a little bit different for the stages. And at the same time, I think your first stage needs to be your longest stage and 2 shorter stages at the end.
Okay. So kind of flip-flop.
A shootout at the end for the most part.
Okay. Yeah. I like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No, it really is. And it's crazy that we looked at these 3 races and 2020 as a whole for NASCAR coming down to this, and we're sitting here not saying that this weekend was awesome and it was, everything we expected, but then we're saying, well, NASCAR did this wrong and NASCAR did this wrong. When NASCAR deserves to be applauded, and we said it for the past 3 episodes where NASCAR completed a season.
No, I agree there. Absolutely. They had the game plan, and they executed that game plan.
They were the last sport to shut down. They were the first sport to come back. They were the first sport to have fans come back. They were the first sport to, in 2020 with the pandemic, to finish a season. There's no asterisk by Sheldon Creed, Austin Cindric, or Chase Elliott.
No.
There's none. I mean, you might put an asterisk next to the Tampa Bay Lightning if you were a hockey fan, but you can't do that. Or the Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
Or the Lakers.
Or the Lakers.
I just don't like basketball.
I mean, I don't either. But I mean, you can't put it. You can put any fan in the sport. And I asked hockey fans this about the Stanley Cup. Is there an asterisk next to that? And all of them say yes. But NASCAR fans will say there's no asterisk between in front of or behind the Truck Champion, the Xfinity Champion, and the Cup Champion.
Because they ran a full season.
They ran a full season, and NASCAR, again, deserves to be applauded for that. But it's amazing. It amazes me that, with that being said, with us running a full championship, we're still going, that shouldn't have happened. This should be changed. Going into, and I keep it 2021 the way you want to keep it, however. But when the Gen 7 car comes out, you need to make these changes. Or at least NASCAR needs to make these changes in order for, new car, new rules, change it all.
No, I agree with you there. Yeah, don't change it if you're keeping the current package.
Yeah.
I want to say to change it this coming year, just so they have it ready for the new package in 2021 or 22.
Right.
At the same time, hey, keep it the same and let's throw all of it at them at once.
I feel like I don't know the too much technical side of the rules package most of the time, but I feel like every time NASCAR comes out and says we're going to change something about the rules, they think it's going to do good, but it doesn't. It just makes it even. They say, "Oh, the racing will be much better." Not really.
I think
that's in my opinion. That's what I see.
Racing really comes down, and I don't know about either of you, but I've seen the drivers, and you might be able to answer this better, Charlie. The drivers have seemed to calm down a lot. Bristol wasn't Bristol. Martinsville wasn't Martinsville. There's beating and banging, but there isn't.
That's
yeah. I don't know if you've been able to.
I think it's because of the current rules package, body package, all that. Granted, yes, you're performing at the highest level. These cars are designed to be as fast as they possibly can. So sure, getting into somebody, bending this particular part of the body will just affect everything. Absolutely. But that takes away from the entertainment side of it as well.
But is it an entertainment industry or is it auto racing? And I've heard this before, is NASCAR heading towards WWE territory where it's all about the entertainment?
Yes. Okay. I know. I can compare it easily. Yes.
But vice to auto racing, because there's no doubt in my mind, we can't go back to nostalgia. We can't use nostalgia and say in Earnhardt's day it was like this, and Patty's Day and Yarbrough's Day.
Look, I'm not. All right, so I'm not trying. I don't know how to really. I mean, what I'm about to say might not make any sense, but I can kind of say that NASCAR is to me becoming almost like WWE because with WWE these days, it's you can what's the word I'm looking for? It's predictable, very predictable. You can read the storylines from like 2 miles away without even knowing what the storyline is.
Right.
We kind of knew what the storyline was with NASCAR this year. Kevin Harvick didn't hit him and kept winning, and it was almost like that every single weekend.
But then, Kevin Harvick didn't even make it to the Final Four.
Well, yeah,
and Danny Hamlin didn't win a championship.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so we got thrown a curveball, but I'm just saying.
And
I don't know.
Had somebody win it off of winning 5 races.
Yeah. I mean, in reality, if you were to look at it, if it was supposed to be Earnhardt's generation or look at it at Earnhardt, Harvick should have won the championship.
Yeah, I'm just saying there was a decent amount of times this year where I missed a good bit of a race, even though I had a recording, but I already knew what I was going to get myself into. It's almost like you when you say you missed Formula One, but you already know what's going to happen. Lewis Hamilton's winning. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's out front. Yeah, he's going to win.
Yeah. There wasn't really much to look at.
Right.
I'm not missing a whole lot. I think I can already read what's on the wall.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel about that, Charlie?
I don't know. I'm still a little. I think you should look. You have your nose pieces and your bumpers and your spoilers and stuff like that that can't touch, so to speak.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the body? I'm all for bringing back old school body guys.
Using the English will to manufacture. Yeah.
As long as you fit template, like with the late models and stuff like that, you got a template lays over pretty much the whole car and all that. As long as there's a tolerance and you meet that tolerance, you're good.
Almost like how NASCAR used to do it, I think.
Right.
It was just a template. Now it's laser system, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it's so much of it being a template or a laser system. I think the laser system is probably just more so modern day.
You're saying there should be leeway, almost, right?
Well, I think you have your front and your back bumpers.
Right.
There's too much stamped parts.
Okay. Yeah.
Molded parts. Bring back the body guys. Let them do what they were known for, and
work their magic.
Play in that gray area for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. That made it fun.
I think this year Chevrolet's shown that power wise they can keep up with what Toyota's been doing the past few years. Same way with Ford. Ford has their super speedway stuff as far as powerhouses.
Right.
As far as the engine goes, they have that part figured out. I mean, they're your top performing teams on super speedways.
Yeah.
They may not end up winning the races, but they're pretty well controlling the race up till that point.
Right.
So yeah, body guys. I'm all for body guys coming back and doing what they do. Even like the early 2000s, stuff like that.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know the real deep technical side to things, but as just a fan that just watches every week, I feel like that when NASCAR came out and said, hey, we're going to do all these things, this is what we're going to do, it should make the playing field even. I haven't seen anything even about playing field whatsoever.
Right.
And that's what honestly upsets me.
No,
like I said, I'm still stuck in the early 2000s to almost 2010 racing. I think the early 2000s racing was really, really good back then.
No, it was. I mean, you still had people running away with it, and on
that's
a rail.
also due to the fact of long green flag runs.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Which people like. I mean, I don't mind cautions, but at the same time, it's mesmerizing for me to see Chase Elliott just dominate, or Brad Keselowski. Insert driver's name here. It doesn't matter who.
And NASCAR probably needs to shorten the races a little bit because stage racing, every time the stage ends, it's just a caution and then they're running laps off into the next stage. Why are you doing that? Just make the race shorter then. If that's the case, don't count laps after the stage is over.
Right.
Well, that brings us back to earlier too, though. Either do away with one or the other.
Yeah.
Do away with playoffs or do away with stage racing.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can make your case either way, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we do away with stage racing. That eliminates what you were talking about. But then when it goes back to the long green flag runs,
Right.
the boring aspect of it, I guess, that's where stage racing helps. So
yeah.
I guess both sides have their pros and cons.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see both. Man, we need to have you on Zoom calls, man. this is quite good. But hey, okay, let's backtrack here. Overall, I say the weekend was okay. Congratulations to all the drivers who won the championship. Could have been better, could have been worse, I think.
Right.
But I think all 3 races were okay. Preston, how would you rate them real quick?
I'm just okay.
Okay.
Weekend was okay.
And given the rating system, Charlie, how would you rate this weekend?
Okay. Truck series, once again, maybe a little more entertaining. I didn't get to watch the Xfinity race.
Yeah.
But based off what I've kind of heard from y'all, same thing. Okay.
Right. But I think we're making 2 big storylines coming out of this weekend, regardless, for the retirement of Jimmy Johnson, 7-time champion in NASCAR, great career, mediocre in the Xfinity series, then the Busch series. But man, what a awesome job! I'm gonna miss him in NASCAR. I can't wait to watch him in Indy. And then Clint Boyer, a driver who had a chance to win the championship in 2012, and Jeff Gordon didn't really help out that situation whatsoever. It's going to be fun to see them in the booth and hear them in the booth.
I think Clint Boyer would be a good addition to the booth.
I think he will too. It's going to be better than Darrell Waltrip. Though Darrell did a great job in the booth, but once he started that boogity stuff, it just went downhill.
That got old fast.
It got old real fast. Maybe use it during the Daytona 500 and that's it.
Yeah.
But those 2 drivers right there, man, fun to watch, fun to just entertain. Jimmy Johnson, the historical factor of Jimmy Johnson, and the fact that I never seen him win a race.
Oh, you never saw him win?
I never seen him win a race.
Oh, I saw him win one time.
Now, see, you got a one-up on me because I've never seen Jimmy Johnson win a race, and that's disappointing. Maybe an IndyCar race, maybe, but I doubt it. We're going to have to get the IndyCar guy in there.
That brings, they both complemented the sport in different ways.
Yeah,
Jimmy Johnson's had 7 championships. He's performed on the track. I'm not saying Clint Boyer hasn't performed.
You're right.
But Clint Boyer's personality for the sport is what has done the sport a lot.
Clint Boyer,
a lot of good.
Clint Boyer is the type of guy you would want to have a beer with.
Oh, absolutely.
And
it seems like Jimmy Johnson's the one that you would want to have a glass of wine with. Just totally polar opposite. But, man, it's going to be disappointing. I'm glad.
I would love to see Clint Boyer have the chance to, and maybe he will. Who knows? Can't predict the future. But maybe this will happen if y'all are listening. Clint Boyer run the Bristol Dirt Race next year.
Ooh.
Well, then who's going to be in the booth with Mike Joy and Jeff Gordon?
Nobody.
Who cares?
Right. They'll have him mic'd up down there in the car.
Yeah, you'd be an in-car reporter, man. I like that. But
almost like when they did with the iRacing.
Well, see, so the way dirt races work is you don't have spotters.
Okay.
At least a few of the guys that I know, the only people you hear are the track officials telling you, hey, go to the back or line up here or caution or whatever. I don't think you necessarily have spotters in all the dirt races. At least I know a couple of people, that's the tracks that they race dirt cars at. That's how it is.
Right.
But if that is a dirt thing across the board, then you really want to make the dirt Bristol race interesting? No spotters.
Oh,
you run it
like a dirt.
Run it like an actual dirt race.
I like that.
I just want to know where the racing line is going to be. Are they actually going to race up on the banking?
Dirt's either way. Dirt. Okay. I don't think Bristol's going to matter as far as when they put dirt on it. I think that you're going to have your dirt guys that have always loved the top side. Honestly, I am looking forward to Kyle Larson Bristol Dirt Race next year.
I am too.
So, I mean, he's dirt guru, man.
Do they keep it a points race? It's a points race.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely a points race. It's a regular season race. It's a points race.
I might buy my tickets there just to say I was there.
Yeah.
Just, I
I
mean,
may go with you on that one for sure.
we'll do camping.
So
Preston, you're gonna have to come too.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. But man, yeah, but Jimmy Johnson and Clint Boyer both retiring at the end of the season. I can't wait till IndyCar season starts off and watch Jimmy Johnson race. And I just like Clint Boyer, man. Like I said, he's one of the guys you want to have a beer with.
Yep.
And I think that's the best personality in NASCAR, kind of like a Chase Elliott.
I think that's the personality you need in a booth too, though.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Gordon's great. I like Jeff Gordon. I think a lot of people appreciated Jeff Gordon once he started retiring and appreciated what he did with the sport. And I think Jimmy Johnson's the same way.
Yeah.
No more, I mean, the only multi-champion we have out there, as far as off the top of my head, is Kyle Busch.
That's it. He's the
Right
only one
now.
into sport right now.
That is a
Now that Jimmy
multi-time
Johnson is retired, and he 2-time champion.
Yeah.
And then you have multiple one-time champions: Logano, Keselowski, Kurt Busch,
Chase Elliott.
So
Kevin
Harvick. It's hard to believe Kevin Harvick's only got one championship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially after this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, glad Elliott won.
But, man, I tell you.
But,
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't take away what Jimmy Johnson did, and it's going to be sad to see him go. But those are about the only two storylines that I don't think we covered this week here as far as that. But, man, it's going to be fun to watch Daytona. Daytona's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And I got about 3 more months for that.
And the Le Mans race. I mean, I usually don't watch it, but
yeah, you can watch it now because of Chase Elliott.
Just for the sheer fact of how Elliott has performed on road courses, I want to see him in what he does in something outside of a stock car.
Yeah.
If that's what you call them nowadays, the stock cars.
Yeah, and Jimmy Johnson getting ready to go to IndyCar, you know, it's going to be fun to see him in, I think they call them prototype cars there, right?
Well, it depends on what class they're running, I guess you could say.
They're probably going to be running a Chevy or something.
Well, I mean, you have your Daytona prototype class, and then you have other classes.
Okay, well.
Like different, like almost like you could say like a series.
Yeah, I think.
You know what I mean,
I don't know what Chip Ganassi. Runs in the.
Ganassi, I think, runs the Daytona prototypes. You have like the GTs and.
What
all
about
that
the IndyCar side of things, though? What do they run? Is it Chevrolets or Hondas?
Man, probably Hondas.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a Lamas guy in here.
We're gonna need like a whole round table.
Because I have no idea. We're gonna need just a round table of racing guys because I have no idea. You know, I just know NASCAR, and that's disappointing for me. But man, that's all I know. But before we get into our final thoughts, our driver of the week this week in NASCAR, Preston, you're the Formula One guy. Formula One is the only season going on, or the only good thing going on right now. When and where is the Formula One race this weekend where Lewis Hamilton could wrap up his seventh championship? Will wrap up his seventh championship. I mean, don't bet against him.
No, you can't bet against him.
No, you can't. But and I love rooting against him. But you know, I believe it's Turkey, right?
Yeah, Istanbul.
Istanbul. And when can we expect to see that race? Sunday?
It's Sunday at 5:10 a.m. Eastern time.
Set your DVRs, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I may have to double check that one more time, but I'm pretty sure it is 5:10 a.m.
Go ahead and double check that for our fans.
I'm pretty sure I will not be up to watch that race.
I'll DVR it, and I guarantee you, you know, and I said it
5:10 a.m. Eastern time.
5:10 a.m.
Yep.
on ESPN for the Istanbul Turkish Grand Prix.
The last time they raced there was 2011. Pop quiz: who won?
Lewis Hamilton.
No.
What?
Sebastian Vettel.
Okay, I should have known better. That's a Red Bull.
Well, I mean, you can't bet against him, so I mean, you had to go with it.
They had to go with it, man.
Yeah.
So Lewis Hamilton can wrap up his championship this year, this next race, this weekend. And after that, I might as well not watch Formula One.
I don't like the point structure in Formula One either, but that's not my cup of tea either. So
now Formula One, it used to be my cup of tea, but it's
yeah, I can remember us talking about going to Texas to watch the race there,
or Miami if they were going to ever run a race.
Yeah, there was
there.
A rumor about Miami at one point.
There was
like a street race in Miami too.
So that's what they're doing in Saudi Arabia next year too. They're going to race in the streets of Saudi Arabia. That just came out as well.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, Good luck, Lewis Hamilton. If you win it, I might as well not watch Formula One for the rest of the 2020 season.
Basically, the only important thing you could probably say going on with Formula One, other than Lewis Hamilton probably going to wrap it up, is the fact that the Constructors' Championship for third place is literally a point that separates 3 different teams, and that's it.
Hey, Charlie, just as a racer, as
Well,
an
I'm just
actual
saying.
driver, I mean, does third matter to you, or just first matter to you?
It's Constructors'
I
Championship.
think it depends on what you're racing for.
The Constructors' Championship. Let's say the
Well,
Constructors.
you have podium finishes of first, second, and third, so everybody still gets excited for finishing third.
Well, I will say this. I saw a stat today where it said Lewis Hamilton has the most points finishes this season, but Lance Stroll second, which is amazing.
That is very amazing.
Considering that Racing Point, is it Racing Point?
Yeah, Racing Point right now.
Is, really a C-class team in Formula One, but he's competing better than Ferrari, better than, a lot of
Well, remember, there was all those things going on at the start of the season about them copying Mercedes or whatever
that
it was.
obviously didn't affect them throughout the course of the season.
No.
They're still running very well.
No.
But, man, let's just say after next season, it might be over. Or after next race this weekend, it might be over for me as far as that.
Yeah, I can understand why.
But, hey, you got anything else to wrap up the race weekend here, Preston?
Nope.
And, Charlie, you have anything as far as the race weekend? Any safe rounds alibis?
Nothing for me.
Oh.
So I'm honestly, personally, I am glad this year's over with.
The light is at the end of the tunnel. We're close to the end, man. But, Preston, what do you need?
I was going to add something to the Formula One. Would you have believed me if I told you that Williams doesn't have a single point this season?
Yeah, absolutely, I would.
Yeah, they're the only team that doesn't have a point.
Okay. And what's surprising about that?
It just goes to show you how far down that they are and where they've gone.
Once again, don't like the point structure.
No, I don't either.
I think everybody should almost be, at least NASCAR has that part right.
Everybody gets a point.
How many cars started racing? 20?
20.
Oh, yeah, 20 in Formula One.
First place gets 20 points. Last place gets a point.
No, I agree.
There you go. I think we talked about that one episode. I think you had that idea.
I think NASCAR has done that part right 100%.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Not first place gets 15 points, just saying. Second place drops all the way down to 10.
I think, first place gets 25.
So-
25, second gets 18, and third gets
that's
12.
no
or
wonder
something
Lewis
like that.
Hamilton's about to wrap up the championship.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You can't put, you can't take away the fact that, he's good,
No, he is.
but you run away with a points championship and it gets boring.
No, he does.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to this, does NASCAR have it right there saying if there was the regular point schedule, the point system, and no playoff format in NASCAR, and Harvick ran away with it this year, probably would have wrapped it up in Texas or maybe even Kansas the way he's been running. Would that have been as exciting as seeing Chase Elliott win his way into the Final Four and winning that championship?
Got his pros and cons.
Yeah.
No, it really does.
Even if you do away with a playoff and you keep, I know we're kind of beating a dead horse here, but do away with playoffs, keep the stages.
Yeah.
But the only person that gets points is the winner of that stage.
Okay. Well, yeah.
And it's not 10 points.
What, 5? 5 you wanted
Maybe.
it? Okay.
But because I think what's going to make it interesting if you did that and you kept it an actual points championship,
Right.
it will keep the point structure a whole lot closer throughout the year. And everybody's going to try to win the stages. They're still going to be all out 100% racing according to the rule of give it your all and want that one extra point.
Stage winner should get just 1 point.
Okay.
There you go. Stage winner gets 1 point, and that's it.
Okay. I like that.
So maybe not everybody will want to go for the win. The stage wins.
Well, maybe if Charlie comes on not full-time, part-time, with this Zoom idea that I had, maybe we could, throughout the course of the offseason, come up with the actual rules for NASCAR, what we want to see, and then bring Steve Phelps on.
Ooh. We
and
could
say-
drop a whole plan.
and then say, this is what we want to see.
I would almost have, if that episode happened, I'd have the rule book right here and already have it tagged and highlighted of what I wanted to talk about. Like, okay, well, moving on to page 6, and just flip it over.
Yeah.
What about this one?
Right. Okay. Maybe we could try to get Steve Phelps on. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it would be.
I think I'd be willing to talk to the president of NASCAR.
Depends on how much time he would give us, though.
It'd have
He'd
to be
probably
an
we
if
would
we're
have.
discussing rules,
We would
this
need him for
episode
a while.
wouldn't be 45, 50 minutes. This would be
Probably
a few hours.
Yeah, I could see that. But hey, we're in the off season now. We got to fill time somehow.
Well,
But hey, man. Okay, so looking forward to Formula One. If Lewis Hamilton locks it up, great on him. But I'll probably can call the rating of the race now. But we're in our off season now, man. This is going to be exactly. Like thumbs down. But you never know.
I can't tell you the last F1 race that I watched.
The last F1 race that was outstanding for me was Germany last year, where it rained and everybody was going off the track. It was awesome.
oh,
That was
Okay.
that was so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
But man, I think that will do it for our weekend review. We're gonna go ahead and get into our final thoughts. Our driver of the week this week in NASCAR. After these ad reads and if you're listening to us on the Unhinged Sports Network, promos for other shows. This is In the Marbles, and we'll be right back.